The sirens screamed through the night, slicing the silence of the small town like a blade. Officer Ayan, fresh out of the academy, gripped the steering wheel of his patrol car so tightly that his knuckles turned white. The radio crackled with reports of a speeding biker gang terrorizing the main highway, causing chaos and putting lives in danger. The tension was thick, and his heart pounded in his chest like a war drum. This was supposed to be just another quiet night shift, his first solo patrol after months of training. He never expected that one wrong decision would change his life forever. Before we dive deeper into this powerful story, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to KindHeartsHub. Your support helps us spread real stories that touch the heart and remind the world that humanity still exists. It was past midnight when Ayan saw a lone biker speeding down the empty road, the engine roaring like thunder in the distance. His pulse quickened. This must be one of them, he thought, recalling the radio report. Without hesitation, he flicked on the siren and pulled over the rider near the old gas station on Route 19. The biker, a tall man wearing a leather jacket and helmet, stopped immediately. He didn't resist. He didn't even argue when Ayan ordered him to step off the bike. The young officer's voice shook slightly as he called in the arrest, but he stood tall, proud that he'd caught a suspect all on his own. The man's name was Imran. His eyes were calm, too calm for someone supposedly part of a gang. "Officer, you've got the wrong guy," he said softly. But Ayan was nervous, eager to prove himself. He ignored the plea, cuffed the man, and placed him in the back seat of the patrol car. What Ayan didn't know was that Imran wasn't a gang member at all. He was the leader of a local biker charity group, men and women who rode every weekend to raise money for sick children in hospitals. That night, he had been on his way home from a hospital visit, still wearing the group's patch, a symbol easily mistaken for a gang insignia under the flickering streetlight. Minutes after the arrest, as Ayan drove toward the station, headlights began appearing in the rearview mirror. 1, then 5, then 10. Within moments, the entire highway behind him glowed with dozens of motorcycles. The deep growl of engines filled the night as more riders joined, 50, 70, 100, forming a massive wall of light and sound. Ayan's heart skipped, fear wrapped around his chest. He reached for the radio, but before he could call for backup, the bikes surrounded his car, forcing him to stop. The road ahead and behind was completely blocked. He stepped out cautiously, hand trembling near his holster. The riders parked in unison, engines rumbling low like thunderclouds before a storm. One by one, they removed their helmets. "Ted, his mistake." He explained how the reports had matched the description, the jacket, the road, the timing, and how he'd acted too quickly. His voice cracked with emotion. "I'm sorry," he said, his throat tightening. "I just wanted to do my duty. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." There was a long, heavy pause. The air was thick with tension. Then slowly, Imran asked to be uncuffed. Ayan hesitated but unlocked the handcuffs with shaking hands. Imran rubbed his wrists, looked at the crowd, and did something no one expected. He placed a gentle hand on Ayan's shoulder. "Everyone makes mistakes," he said quietly. "What matters is what you do after." That moment broke something inside Ayan, his pride, his fear, and the invisible wall between him and the people he was supposed to protect. He lowered his gaze as tears filled his eyes. The bikers watched in silence, their anger softening as they saw the sincerity in the young officer's face. Imran turned to them and said, "Let's not fight hate with hate. This young man is trying to learn. Let's teach him, not break him." What happened next would be remembered in that town for years. Instead of retaliating or demanding punishment, the biker community invited Ayan to join them the next weekend. They told him to see for himself what they stood for: love, charity, and unity. The next Saturday, dressed in casual clothes instead of his uniform, Ayan showed up at the meeting point nervously. The same riders greeted him with cautious smiles. Imran handed him a spare helmet and said, "Today you ride with us." As they hit the road, hundreds of bikes moved together, their engines humming like a heartbeat. They stopped at a children's hospital where they handed out toys, food, and donations. Ayan watched as the bikers, the same people he had feared, hugged children, wiped tears from parents' faces, and spread laughter like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. It was then that he realized his badge didn't make him a protector. His heart did. By evening, Ayan sat beside Imran on the hospital steps. The sunset painted the sky in shades of gold and crimson. Ayan turned to him and said softly, "You could have ruined me that night. Why didn't you?" Imran smiled, eyes glinting with warmth. "Because I saw myself in you. Years ago, I made a mistake that cost me everything. Someone forgave me when I didn't deserve it. I learned that forgiveness is the strongest form of justice." That night, Ayan went home changed. He understood now that the world wasn't just black and white, it was made of countless shades of humanity. He carried that lesson into every shift thereafter, choosing compassion before judgment, understanding before accusation. The young cop who once arrested an innocent man became the officer people trusted, the one who stopped not just crime, but also fear and division. Years later, when Imran passed away due to illness, hundreds of bikers and dozens of police officers rode together in a single, united convoy through the city streets. Ayan led the procession, tears streaming down his face beneath his helmet. On the back of his jacket was a small patch that read, "Ride with kindness." It was the same patch Imran had worn the night of the arrest. As the engines roared in harmony and the sun dipped below the horizon, Ayan whispered into the wind, "Thank you for showing me what it truly means to serve." If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to KindHeartsHub. Your engagement helps us keep sharing stories that remind the world of compassion, humanity, and the power of forgiveness. Special request, comment below. I believe in kindness and second chances. Let's see how many hearts still beat with empathy in this world.